So CL, super duper producer, active professional, welcome, and thank you for taking the time today. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me on, and love to chat with you.
You're feeling well, you're doing great, you're at home, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not in this home. This is actually an active listing on mine in Bellevue that's currently on the market. But I'm in my home and staying with my family, and everybody's working or studying from home. I have a 5th grade son, and who has been home for a few weeks now, and it looks like he will remain home until the rest of the school year, as the governor had announced. And then my wife is working from home as well.
So for those that may not be familiar with Zoom, if you're techie enough and you have the right kind of background, you can replace it with an image. You chose an image of one of your own listings. Talk about great marketing, because now you have all these agents that are going to be watching this and thinking, I have a buyer for that property. So very smart marketing. You're getting stuff listed and getting stuff sold in this market where we have to stay at home, we have social distancing. How are you getting that done?
Well, we just have to do what we have to do. I mean, based on the current circumstances. So we can still get things done. I mean, a lot of stuff can be done virtually. You know, when we have a listing come on, you know, we can do, the first step will be a consultation. Usually, you know, it happens on the kitchen table. But nowadays, if the seller don't want an agent to meet face and face, we can arrange a Zoom meeting, just like what we're doing right now. And we can share the screen with them. We can do a PowerPoint presentation. We can show them some statistics, and mainly just to have a face-to-face interaction to understand their needs. Why do they want to sell? What are their fears? What are their expectations? So we can, you know, virtually do a meeting, and we can still get things done.
What would you say to brokers, agents, that this would be such a new thing and it wouldn't be maybe considered authentic, or it would be scary? Obviously, you're doing this, you're getting stuff listed, you're getting stuff sold. What would you tell them to kind of just ease their concern that you can actually do these consultations using technology?
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of these technologies has become very easy to use, very common. So I just started doing Zoom probably a month ago. And it started before the coronavirus. It started when I have a client who is at Microsoft purchasing a home in the Redmond area. And then the parents wants to be involved and give some advice. So the parents are in Taiwan. So I was, you know, getting to know some of these technology like Zoom. I was like, okay, let's try Zoom. And that's how we get started. And then I had a little bit of, you know, a learning curve in the beginning, but things get easier and you just have to, you know, give it a try. And when you can see your client face to face and they can see you as well as see what you're talking about on the same page in terms of, you know, you sharing some document with them or a PowerPoint, it really helps to build that, you know, trust and a relationship with, you know, this kind of face-to-face interaction. It's not, you know, same as, you know, real person, but it's pretty close.
I would agree. I mean, you obviously want the tonality to come across and the body language, which all of that can be accomplished in this setting. You obviously have the distance, but what's wonderful is you're having a conversation with parents that are in another country. There'd be no other way to do that except by using technology to bring that peace of mind to the children that are in this country with parents that are in different countries. So good on you. You were prepared, obviously, for what was coming. Is there a particular best practice that you've discovered during this COVID stay at home, stay in place perspective?
I think it's just, you know, you have to give empathy because right now everybody's staying at home and, you know, we are staying 24/7 with our family and they all have their needs. Like, you know, kids needs to still do homework and online school, and my kid still wants to do PE with me, and because we don't have any teachers at home, so we kind of have to fill in and become the teacher. And just to understand how they are doing first, understand their needs and how we can help. Sometimes I started with, hey, do you guys have any needs? Do you guys need face masks? If you guys need to go out to do shopping, we've actually, stocked up some at home. So if they need it, I can drop off some to them or mail some to them. Or if they don't want to go out, I can share some resources about, hey, there's instant car or there's online shopping that can deliver grocery to your home. And I guess it's just trying to build that connection with people and see how we can help in their life, other than everything is, business.
I couldn't agree more. And when you demonstrate care and empathy, obviously they're going to be asking about you and how you're doing. So that's wonderful.
Right.
So you're doing transactions, you're listing stuff. Is there a particular day that you launch on the MLS? Things have changed in terms of the backlog of buyers. So what has been your strategy in terms of when to list on the MLS and what's worked best?
Yeah, as you know, in the past, we usually launch it before the weekend, like, usually on a Thursday, Friday, and sometimes even Wednesday. Right now, I don't think it matters as much as before. So it depends on a lot of other things, like how soon you can get the house ready, right? In the past, it's mainly just getting the photos ready. But nowadays, a lot of other things needs to happen. I've been doing Metaport on all our, listings on top of, professional photography, Metaport. I also added videos, because we can share videos on different social medias like Instagram and Facebook and, YouTube. So all these things takes time. And now it's harder to, book the photographers and videographers and, doing Metaport. So, you need to plan ahead of time and see how long those things take, and then plan your launch date. So from what I can observe, you still get a little bit more showings on the weekends, but it doesn't matter as much as before.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we've probably known each other 12, 13 years, but I've watched your digital strategies marketing game just skyrocket, and it feels like it's even gone further now for you to make sure that you're exposing your listings in ways that maybe before you didn't have to as much, but now you're making it very safe for buyers to experience your listings online. Is that helping just get the serious buyers in the door because you've been able to expose the property completely?
Yes, I thought those are very important in this, in this kind of stage, because a lot of buyers worry about going out, so they want to screen, the listings that the ones that most interested to them before going out. So having those Metaport and videos are very important, because they go online, they check out the photos, they walk through the home virtually, and then before they decided to call their agent and say, hey, I'm 90% sure I like this house, I want to go see it, can you make an appointment with the with the owner? So having those really help us to attract the right buyer and most serious buyer.
So you have some sellers that are on the market. Are they concerned about being on market this time, or what have you done to maybe make them feel more comfortable being on the market during this time where we have restrictions and there's concern about obviously the virus?
Right. So for my sellers, when they decided to put it on the market, they are not as concerned, to let people through. But of course, we've been taking precautions and, putting a sign out there to, remind the buyers that, they need to, follow some instructions about, not to touch as much stuff as possible when they're doing showing, and then wear the shoe covers, and then we have some wipes for them to clean the door handles and stuff, and also hand sanitizers and things like that. So, and also my clients are pretty careful. After a showing, when they get home, they will clean up the house, as much as possible.
So you're not having any issues with private showings, or is there any way that you're handling them any differently than someone else maybe?
So not so much differently. We usually ask for, appointment. Right now, everything's by appointment only. So they call the owner and set an appointment, and we need to make sure that, it's one person at a time. And I don't think it's that much different.
Have you noticed that we're, in your world, are we still in the multiple offer situation?
From my experience, it really depends on the location and price point. For example, I have a buyer who put in an offer about a week and a half ago on a townhouse in Kirkland that's in the more affordable range, about 450 to 500 price range. So we still run into multiple offer situation, and it went above the asking price, and we didn't get it. And then about a week later, we saw another condo in the same area about the same price range. So we made an offer again. That one has an offer review date versus the first one. It has no offer review date. And we ran into 3 other offers. So that's another multiple offer situation. And we have to weigh some contingencies, and we were able to get it under the contract.
Well, congratulations. How is it that you're communicating to your relationship database that the market is still in motion, that you can still do real estate? What avenues, vehicles, communication portals are you using to make sure that they know that you can still do real estate?
It's mainly through, phone calls, the more traditional way, and also by, social media. So I have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So I've been communicating, sharing some articles or some statistics that I've seen, my experience through social media. And I also have I have a YouTube channel. So I have done 2 COVID-19 specific videos lately. The second one, the first one was done about 2 weeks ago when everything started and things have, started changing. But at that time, we don't have the stay-at-home order, so it hasn't affected the buyer-seller that much. And I just did a second episode of the COVID-19 update that now that everything has been in place for about 2 weeks. So I'm launching that video today. So I realized it get quite a bit of views as people care about, how this is impacting their life in real estate.
Well, you're getting stuff done. You're obviously working. You're keeping your family fed, and you're a professional. You've always been a professional, now a 1%er. You're obviously elevating a game at the highest level. But that requires mindset. What is it that you do so that every day you're showing up to work, even though your work environment is very different because you're gym teacher, school teacher, parent, professional real estate agent? Where do you go so that you get your mindset ready, so that you get down and you do the activities that make money?
I think I've been always a pretty positive person. I think, keep thinking about positive minds every day, and, and also adapt to what's happening, because things are changing, every few days, every day, things are, new policies will come out, new guidelines will come out. There's new assistance programs coming out. So we have to, kind of just to absorb what's happening in the marketplace and try to help people. So I can share a little bit about that based on my experience about the COVID-19, because I have a listing that came on in the earlier this year in January. So at that time, COVID-19 isn't an issue in the US, but it was an issue in China. So we're kind of monitoring it at that point and see how it's going to impact us. So we put the listing out in early January, and then the closing is in late February. So at that time, we want to worry at that time everything's going smoothly. And then later on in late January, things started to change in China. So my client already made an appointment with the Chinese embassy in Shanghai to sign closing docs. And suddenly, in the beginning of February, things turned bad. The U.S. embassy shut down, and it canceled all the notary services. So my client's closing, the closing doc notary got canceled. So at that time, we were worrying about how we kind of get this closed, and we worked with the seller and then inform the buyer about the situation and calm them and make sure, we are thinking about solution. So we work with the escrow company and closely to come up with a solution that the escrow company is making exception because of this epidemic, that they are willing to accept a Chinese notary, an official Chinese notary, to notarize document and get it translated. So we were able to get that done, FedEx it out, and then get it closed on time. So, from that, so that's kind of my first experience with the COVID-19. And then now, it's just, affecting us in a great way. And we just have to think of solutions to how to help our clients and stay positive.
What I love that I hear from you, CL, is that it's all about the client, making sure they're taken care of, and you're going to figure out a way to do that.
Right.
And
exactly.
You exemplify a professional at the highest standard, but yet you bring along with that not just excellence, but deep care. And it's very evident. And smarts, because you got it figured out. A lot of people would have given up in that situation, but you didn't. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for the character that you demonstrate. You are an ambassador for us, because out there, John Scott is so represented by you. Thank you for your time. Keep your family safe. Stay home and out when you can. But I'm so grateful for the time you spent with us. Thank you so much, CL.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Appreciate the opportunity.